Squirrels are often regarded as simple woodland creatures, darting up trees and hoarding acorns for the winter, but this perception belies a much more complex reality. Despite their small size and seemingly chaotic movements, squirrels exhibit behaviors and cognitive abilities that suggest a surprising level of intelligence. From their advanced memory and problem-solving capabilities to their adaptability in urban environments and use of deception to protect food, squirrels are more sophisticated thinkers than most people give them credit for. To understand why squirrels are smarter than you think, we need to examine not only their physical behaviors, but also the mental processes behind those actions. One of the most remarkable demonstrations of a squirrel's intelligence is its ability to remember. This is especially evident in their food caching habits. Squirrels are known to bury nuts and seeds in numerous locations during the fall to prepare for the scarcity of winter. This act is not random. It is a calculated and methodical process. Research has shown that squirrels use spatial memory to recall the locations of hundreds, sometimes even thousands, of food caches. What makes this even more impressive is that they often return to these caches weeks or even months later, navigating through complex terrain to find a specific stash. They don't just rely on smell, as previously believed, but also on mental maps they create of their environment. These mental maps are highly detailed and suggest an internal GPS system that rivals those seen in many domesticated animals and even some primates. Beyond memory, squirrels demonstrate advanced problem-solving skills. Many homeowners who have bird feeders know all too well the extent to which squirrels will go to access food. They'll leap from great distances, solve latch mechanisms, and figure out how to bypass baffles and barriers meant to keep them away. Scientists have taken note of this ingenuity. In controlled lab settings, squirrels have been given puzzles involving levers, pulleys, and complex sequences of tasks. Not only were the squirrels able to solve these problems, but they often did so more efficiently after each trial, showing an ability to learn from past experiences. What's more, these experiments revealed that squirrels could apply solutions learned in one context to a new, slightly altered situation, a sign of flexible intelligence. Squirrels are also skilled at observational learning. They can watch other squirrels and even different species perform a task and then mimic the action to achieve the same goal. This kind of learning, without direct experience, demonstrates a higher cognitive function that's rarely seen in animals not considered part of the higher primate group. Observational learning is an important indicator of intelligence because it means the animal can understand cause and effect relationships by watching another creature's actions rather than relying solely on trial and error. Another fascinating behavior is how squirrels use deception to protect their food stores. When they suspect they are being watched, by other squirrels, birds, or even humans, they may pretend to bury food but actually hide it elsewhere. This is known as tactical deception, and is a highly advanced cognitive strategy. It requires the animal to recognize that another being has a different perspective and intent, and then modify their own behavior accordingly. This implies a level of self-awareness and the ability to anticipate the thoughts or actions of others. In other words, squirrels are not just reacting to their environment, but are actively thinking about how their actions are perceived and making strategic choices to outwit competitors. In urban settings, squirrels continue to showcase their smarts. City life presents a unique set of challenges: moving vehicles, crowded sidewalks, man-made barriers, and inconsistent food sources. But squirrels adapt remarkably well. Urban squirrels have been observed navigating busy streets with caution, using pedestrian crosswalks, and timing their movements to avoid human contact. They learn to associate certain times of day with feeding opportunities, such as when children are likely to drop snacks or when garbage bins are most accessible. These behaviors are learned, not instinctual, meaning squirrels are constantly observing, analyzing, and adapting to their environment. Moreover, squirrels exhibit strong social intelligence. While they are not pack animals like wolves or apes, they still engage in complex social interactions. Squirrels communicate with each other through a variety of vocalizations and tail movements. These signals are not just random noises or twitching. They carry specific meanings, such as alerting others to a predator, warning of territorial boundaries, or signaling the availability of food. In some studies, squirrels have been observed engaging in cooperative behaviors, such as jointly harassing a predator or working in tandem to distract a rival. Though not all squirrel species are overtly social, the ability to interpret and respond to social cues within their community is another indicator of cognitive depth. Furthermore, squirrels show signs of emotional intelligence. They appear to experience a range of emotions, from excitement to frustration. For instance, when squirrels fail to retrieve food from a previously successful source, they exhibit behaviors that suggest disappointment, such as chattering aggressively or making repeated attempts to access the site. On the other hand, successful problem-solving is often met with tail flicks, energetic movements, and repeated engagement, hinting at a kind of reward response. These emotional expressions, while subtle, indicate a level of sentience that is often underestimated in small animals. Another aspect worth noting is how young squirrels learn. Just like human children, juvenile squirrels go through a period of exploration and play. During this phase, they climb, jump, and engage in mock fights, which not only helps them develop physical coordination but also critical thinking skills. Play is a recognized indicator of intelligence across the animal kingdom. It serves as a safe environment for testing boundaries, learning cause and effect, and developing strategies for future encounters. The fact that young squirrels engage in such complex play behaviors further reinforces the idea that they possess a high degree of intelligence. Additionally, squirrels have demonstrated an ability to manipulate their environments to suit their needs. Some have been observed using leaves or debris to insulate their nests, while others chew through materials to create passageways or escape routes. In colder climates, squirrels will actively seek out warmer microclimates or modify existing structures to conserve heat. This level of environmental manipulation is a clear indication of forward planning and adaptability. Even more remarkable is their seasonal behavior. Squirrels undergo changes not only in diet and activity levels, but also in behavior depending on the season. They increase food storage and body fat in anticipation of winter, and their nesting behavior becomes more complex and strategic. This forward planning is not just instinctual, it's also learned and adjusted based on previous years. Squirrels who live in regions with unpredictable weather patterns often adjust their behaviors dynamically, suggesting a form of environmental assessment and future planning that's much more sophisticated than mere reaction. It's also worth exploring how squirrels interact with other species, including humans. There are countless stories of squirrels forming bonds with people, especially when raised in rehabilitative settings. These squirrels can recognize specific human individuals, respond to verbal cues, and even return to their human caretakers after being released into the wild. This level of recognition and bonding goes beyond basic training. It suggests that squirrels are capable of long-term memory, emotional attachment, and perhaps even a sense of loyalty. Importantly, the intelligence of squirrels has implications for how we view wildlife in general. Animals like dolphins, elephants, and great apes have long been recognized for their intelligence, but smaller creatures like squirrels are often overlooked. Yet, intelligence is not just about brain size, it's about adaptability, learning capacity, problem-solving, memory, and social behavior. In all these categories, squirrels perform remarkably well. They are not just surviving in our increasingly complex world, they are thriving, often in ways that suggest they are outpacing other species in terms of adaptability. In fact, when comparing squirrels to domesticated pets like dogs or cats, their intelligence becomes even more apparent. While a dog may rely heavily on training and human direction, a squirrel in the wild must navigate a world filled with unpredictability and danger with minimal assistance. They learn by doing, by watching, and by remembering. Their intelligence is not flashy or obvious, but it is deeply embedded in every twitch of their tail, every leap across a rooftop, and every carefully hidden nut. As our understanding of animal cognition grows, it becomes increasingly important to challenge our assumptions. Squirrels are not simply cute woodland acrobats. They are engineers, strategists, learners, and communicators. Their intelligence may not be expressed in words or art, but it is present in their daily survival, in their adaptive behaviors, and in their silent mastery of the world around them. To ignore the intelligence of squirrels is to ignore the rich cognitive tapestry that exists in the natural world. They are reminders that brilliance doesn't always come with size, and that sometimes, the smartest minds are the ones quietly scampering across the trees in our own backyards.